Hello and welcome to ShieldsUp, a video series on activating your web defenses with FortiWeb Cloud. I'm Frederick, and in today's episode we're going to discuss blocking known web application attacks. Web app attacks have become the #1 attack vector in breaches around the world, accounting for 43% of breaches in 2019. And for most organizations, web applications are mission critical, and a successful attack could mean your website goes down, or worse, your customer data is stolen. The most common attack types identified in the 2020 Verizon Breach Investigations Report included SQL, PHP, and local injections, as well as cross-site scripting. So now let's turn to Brian to walk us through how to block these types of known attacks and protect your web applications with FortiWeb Cloud.
Thanks, Frederick. So let's go ahead and take a look at our FortiWeb Cloud dashboard. Now, this environment that you see here, I've been running some test data through, but you can see right here that currently block mode is turned off. Now, that's turned off by default when you first install FortiWeb Cloud in order to make sure that you can get the system fully set up and check to see what kinds of things might be detected. And perhaps most importantly, determine if there's anything going on in normal operation of your web application that might cause false positives. So the first thing we're going to do to begin blocking OWASP Top 10 threats is to come over to Security Rules, go to Known Attacks, and make sure that Known Attacks is turned on. So this is, again, designed to protect you against common vulnerabilities, things that would be covered by that OWASP Top 10 list. And this is also where you could go to manually create exceptions if you knew that there was something specific in your application that required it. So you could click here and add an exception to a particular rule based on your requirements. So perhaps, for example, you have some field in your, some form on your website that allows people to submit some code snippets that might inadvertently look like somebody's trying to inject code into your application. So you could add an exception here. Now that's kind of a corner case. And while you can do it manually, the easier way to do this is going to be to go to your logs. So if we go to take a look at our attack logs, one thing that this product really does well is give you very detailed information about what kinds of things are triggering your alerts. So if we click here, we can look at the details of the attack, including where was it coming from, what type of attack was it, what signature triggered the detection in this case. And you'll see here that this is one of the OWASP Top 10 risks. It's an injection attack. And if we wanted to add an exception, rather than having to figure out what that exception would be manually, we can simply click Add Exception. We can come in here and you'll see that we have an option to say that for this particular URL, let's not enforce this particular rule. And now it's saved successfully. If we go back to look at our known attacks, you'll see that a new exception has been added. So again, we didn't have to go through and figure out exactly what to type in. We simply went to our attack logs, found something that had triggered an alert that we decided is a false positive, and we can add the exception here. Now in this case, that was actually a real alert, so let's go ahead and delete that. But you see here, there's another exception that was put in there to deal with a different issue that we were having. Okay, so once we're happy and satisfied that the right things are being detected, then we can simply go back to our dashboard. Of course, first let's go ahead and save our change. And again, you'll notice that this block mode on-off switch is very visible, and it's visible across multiple parts of our admin, our admin UI. That's just making sure that you're very clear at any given time whether block mode is turned on or off. But when you're ready, you simply turn on block mode by clicking that button. And it warns you that configuration change may take a couple of minutes to take effect, but now we're in block mode and we can begin blocking these threats. And you'll see again that there are a number of things that I've triggered in our testing environment that are already showing up. You'll also see that the number of blocked requests is going to be displayed very clearly, as well as some information about how things have been going historically, when have you had a lot of threats. If I look at a 30-day view, you'll be able to see when I was doing some heavier testing. And also incoming requests. And sometimes it's interesting to look at that last hour. You can see here I've been doing some further testing and blocking some other test traffic. And with that, let me hand this back over to Frederick.
Well, that's about as easy as it gets to protect against known attacks. Thank you, Brian. So be sure to check out the ShieldsUp playlist on YouTube for more tips and tricks to secure your web apps and APIs with FortiWeb Cloud. If you haven't tried FortiWeb Cloud yet, find out how you can get started with a free trial at FortiWeb-Cloud.com. See you next time.